Hey, welcome back. So, right now you should have your Visual Studio and cursor set up and ready to go. And before we dive into the code, I thought that you want to have a quick tour so you don't feel so lost and you know how to navigate and the most important commands. So, get your coffee ready and let's explore Visual Studio Code and cursor IDEs. I already have here Visual Studio and cursor side by side. Visual Studio Code on the left, cursor on the right. And you can see it's pretty much identical software. They have the same panes here, exactly same one here. They also kind of on the top there's like this main setting, and right now it's a little bit squeezed, so it cannot maybe you cannot see, but you see the settings are the same. They're the same things here. VS Code has exactly the same thing. Maybe now is not enough space. And I also prepared here a style.py file just kind of for fun to see different kind of stylings. You notice it's going to be look a little different. However, we can also unify it. Go to any of them and click on F1, probably in cursor, and then type their color and look for preferences color theme. Then you can scroll through the kind of themes and choose what you like the most. Right now in VS Code by default, I think I have dark modern. Sometimes there's something else. So I'm going to select that one. Now they look identical. I could also go to cursor, say, like color theme. I could also change something here like Manaka and so on and set kind of the same one if I wanted to. For now, it's irrelevant. I'm going to set up a different one in a moment. For now, you can see we already made them look exactly the same. We can switch between them without even realizing. It actually happens to me sometimes. And you see, nowadays, these kind of code editors, they all come with a lot of AI embedded and it's super helpful and amazing. And I want to show it to you right away. Let's create two files. So first one is going to be test.py here. You can see it also appears here because I have the same project open. But here I actually want test2.py, right? So we have separate files. You can see in VS Code, it suggests Control I to actually generate code. And in cursor, it's actually Control K. Now I'm going to drop there the same prompt. I'm just going to write something simple like generate pyRevit code for 2025, get all walls, read wall layer materials, and write in comments separated by the comma. Then I'm going to copy, insert here, and now let's send it at the same time. Enter, enter. You'll see some difference. Cursor just starts spitting out line by line, and here is our code. VS Code, however, it needs to think it through first, and then it just dumps everything at the same time. Quite annoying because sometimes you think that it froze, but it didn't. Now, whoa, in this case, very, very different results. I ran this command multiple times because this is not the first time I record, and I had constantly different results. Sometimes there's a function, sometimes there is no, and so on. This one is the most different I ever got. So I'm not gonna judge what is better, this one or that one, but you can see how useful it becomes, especially when you're a beginner. You might kind of create a code and think like, okay, I need to get here the path. You just Control K, get me path of my dot extension folder. You just wait a little and it's going to generate some code. It's not always going to be perfect, amazing, and the best, but it's going to be something that usually works, and that's what's amazing. And you can always kind of prompt more to get kind of even more information about it. So you can see here, you just got something, and actually it misunderstood what I meant, but hey, they also hallucinate, so watch out what you kind of accept. Anyway, that's not the point. Right now, I just want to kind of take you on how to navigate software, certain shortcuts you need to know, and so on. I'm going to start, first of all, go to VS Code, because that command only is there. Click on F1 and write help shortcuts. You will see this help keyboard shortcut reference. Click on enter, and it's going to open a website with this page. I highly recommend you to print it out and keep it nearby. And whenever you have time, just grab a highlighter and just go over this page and kind of highlight the most important things that you think for yourself. And slowly start building up these kind of shortcuts because they're really, really important when you code. And now I'm also going to kind of take you through the most important ones. I think I'm going to go for the cursor, but it's exactly the same thing. Well, first of all, you need to know that here, everything can be done with a keyboard. And to activate, we have this command kind of palette here on the top. We can either click like this, or we hold Control click on P, or we can also click on F1, the easiest one. It's also going to add the caret for the commands. I'm going to explain more, but it opens the same thing. From here, we can do anything. And first of all, put there a question mark and you will see certain kind of help files. If you're going to type anything, it's going to go to the file. For example, let's open like this. And if I'm going to kind of Control P or just F1 and then delete that one, if I'm going to type something like I need a push button, here are all my push buttons. I'm actually looking for script.py file. Which one? Maybe I look for push buttons script.py file. Well, there are too many of them. Maybe I look for stack script.py. You can see it will find and filter things instantly. You can very quick find it. We can also name our files better because script.py maybe not the best one. But anyway, you get an idea. So this is the first one. Control P, start typing. You're going to search for the files throughout your whole project. Now, let's go to the next one. there's like, if you're gonna put colon, it's gonna go to the line and column. So that one is also pretty cool. Let's open this kind of test file, and I'm just gonna kind of F1, delete, colon, and I can either click here, put the colon, and then let's say I need line 87 because there's an error. Ah, there's line 87, maybe 24 and so on. You can see we can quickly navigate to the right line. It's useful when you get errors and it's certain line and you have a big code. Super convenient. Also the shortcut Control G specifically for that one. So it already comes with a kind of colon. Now the next one is, let's see, question mark. Oh, the add symbol. For that one, put the add symbol and you'll see it's going to list all symbols in your project. And symbols are variables, functions, classes, anything to kind of for Python to know. You can scroll through, see every single thing. Here's like the class, here's like decorator. There's like a lot of things that's very kind of can be convenient on big codes. The shortcut is Ctrl-Shift-O to open that one specifically. Or just gonna go F1 and then put the symbol and then it's the same. You can also add here a colon. Then it's going to be also sorted by actual kind of types. For example, we have two classes, we have 16 constants, we have functions, methods, and so on. This one is a little bit easier to navigate. Here, you can also use your kind of arrow keys to go through, or hold Alt and kind of arrow keys to go through the kind of kinds, right? Classes, constants, functions, methods, variables, and so on. Super convenient as well. And when you know what you want, for example, I want like a shape. Now let's see what else. I can click here or use shortcuts. The next one is, look for symbols in the workspace. So this one is for the kind of current file, but I can also do the same thing, but for the whole project. Now if I'm going to look for example, title, I can see there's like variable title in all these files. I can try to maybe replace something. You can see it goes to a specific button, enter, opens the files, goes me straight to the certain functions. This one is super convenient as you kind of start jumping between files. Now let's close it. Now what's the next one? The next one is search for the text. We just put %sign and say like, I need to find something about push button or button, let's say. Like you can see, I can go through, it's going to jump between files, show me exactly where it shows. For example, this is from like one file, another file, I can scroll through. For example, maybe there was like, you know what, there was something about how it works. Oh, here it is. It's an example, blah, blah, blah. And so on. Super convenient when you know the exact keywords you're looking for. And this is the main thing about navigation. That's all you need. You don't have to use it right away, but just know that it's here. And the most important one is probably show and run commands. This one is F1, the shortcut, use it all the time. I use it kind of now F1 and then put other symbols if I need to. But here you're going to find your settings. Here you can activate maybe themes. Here you can maybe kind of zoom in and stuff like that. And so on. For example, let's say I want to get my cursor settings. I'm going to go there, come here, and then I also can look for the settings. And while we're here, actually, let's set up two most important ones. The first one, search for save. I want to activate autosave. If you want to, please do it. I'm going to set it after delay, and somewhere there should be autosave delay. 1000 is okay. That's one thing I want to do. And second one is put zoom. Activate that one and that one. These two things, well, the zooming, it will allow you to hold control and zoom out, zoom in. For me, it's like absolutely must feature. I constantly love to zoom out, look somewhere, zoom in. Super convenient, highly recommend you. Yeah, so that's how you also modify your settings. And that's pretty much it. Just focus on those ones first of all, and later kind of learn other shortcuts as well. They're going to be really, really convenient and really useful. I will try to kind of call out all the shortcuts throughout the whole training when I use them, because there are some really, really cool ones that you should know about. For example, there's like F2 to rename stuff. Instead of self, it's going to be Eric. You will see that it will rename it in the context where it should rename it. There are certain things like, I don't know, if I'm going to go all the way down and use shape, ignore what it is, but now if I'm going to click on F12, it's going to take me where the same object is defined. And there are like a lot of those things. I had a video where I explained it. It took like half an hour to do it, and that was too much, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to slowly, I'm going to throw it out at you during tutorials. Now, we're pretty much done with the tour. The rest you will see as we go. Just one more thing. Let's go to extensions. I can also install a lot of extensions. I have a whole list of extensions I have. I'm going to leave it down below. Not going to install now. But for now, I want to go and look for JetBrains icons. And scroll down till you see that one, icon theme, and look how it's going to look. Right now, it looks like this. Not bad, but I come from PyCharm, and I like how it looks there. And there's extension for that. I click, install it, and now the moment it installs, you're gonna have these icons. For me, it works the best. Also, let's select that one. For me, I like it the most because it's more convenient for me. Maybe it's just a habit, but I think it looks better. Can go also and do the same for the VS Code. Just come here, extensions, again, JetBrain icons. And I think we have that one, install it. It's gonna do the same. So you can see they even have very similar plugins. Sometimes not the same plugins available, but there are workarounds with agents for that. And another one I want to do is I'm also going to look for the islands. This is the theme from JetBrains. I love it the most, so I'm going to use that one. You don't have to use this theme, choose whatever theme you prefer. But in case you want to follow along with me, you can also grab it. It's right here, islands theme, here and there, install it. Now I'm going to activate this new theme. So dark modern is fine here, and I'm going to activate it here. All right, now, later, if you want to make any changes to your workspace, just use agents. Let's say that I'm in my style.py and I want to change here something, maybe a color, maybe some setting. Let's say I want a class to be different color. Make class keyword pink instead of blue. Just enter it there, and it's also good to mention is it cursor or VS setting you modifying, because sometimes they can get confused what they're modifying. That's how sometimes it becomes. I can see it can take sometimes a while to get there, but eventually it will modify it. You can see now it's pink. And you can create a lot of rules, what is colored, how, and so on. You can also ask for settings in cursor, copy my VS Code settings, bring them to cursor. It can do that as well. It can do a lot. Just whenever you want to try to modify anything, just go and ask agents to do that. And if you're not happy, you can always click here and undo stuff. So continue. I think now it's back to whatever it was before. Honestly, the code editor is something personal. You have to decide for your own how far you want to push it, how you want to kind of visualize it, what kind of themes you want to use, and stuff like that. But what I want you to recommend is like slowly focus on the shortcuts. This is gonna like make a big difference for you. And the rest I'm gonna explain as we go through this training. I'm gonna try to call out all the shortcuts that I use. I'm gonna explain all the additional things that we're gonna create, all the settings and stuff like that. And the full kind of my settings and setup going to be below. I'm going to make a list of my extensions. I'm going to even insert my settings. So with Control P and settings JSON, you're going to get this file. But hey, if you like what I have and you want to have the same one, you can copy me or you can just create your own. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are aware how to navigate. Now we have your code setup ready. You know what it's all about. Now it's time to code. So I'm going to see you in the next one. See ya.